Here's a quick one that I absolutely had to cover. One, because so many of you guys asked me to cover it by email. And number two is a example what happens when a guy treats his girlfriend like the queen. I'm talking like pure royalty, and how she'll treat him like a peasant. And how it's a mistake to, again, do all that because they can turn into absolute spoiled, petulant children. And it's a disaster. And in this situation, it's no different. Titled, Am I the a-hole for getting into a fight with my girlfriend on her birthday because she's being picky with the food I cook for her? And again, a shout out to all you guys for sending this story. Now listen to this. This is petulant child, spoiled brat to the nth degree. Says here, my girlfriend, a 27-year-old female of 3 years, had a birthday yesterday. And I wanted to surprise her by waking her up in bed with breakfast for her. For some background here, she's always been somewhat of a picky eater in the sense that she will try things, but if it doesn't blow her mind away or make her happy or excited to eat it, then she won't finish it. Hello? You got a hell of a lot of people in this world that don't know where the next meal is going to come from or starving. And this chick won't finish her meal because it doesn't excite her or anything like that. Are you kidding me? This is one of many reasons why people hate people in the West. That's a sign to dump her. It caused some problems in the beginning of our relationship when I was still trying to hone my cooking skills for her, since neither of us knew how to cook. Nowadays, I obviously have adjusted to her palate, gotten much better, and haven't had any issues since the beginning. Smack! You are trying way too hard for this brat, okay? If she's that picky, let her cook her own food. Fast forward to yesterday for her birthday. I decided to make breakfast burritos with sides of eggs, hash browns, sausage, and bacon. Awesome. Sounds delicious. I made it for her in the past, and she says it's one of her favorite things I make for her. So I had no stress whatsoever. There shouldn't be stress cooking for your girlfriend, dude. If there is, that's a problem. That was all until I started making the eggs and realized we only had 2% milk in the house. She likes whole milk because it makes the eggs creamier. I was already halfway through cooking and didn't want to involve her and ruin the surprise, so I just used 2% milk instead of thinking it would be a big difference for her. I was incredibly wrong. So this isn't a situation where she has problems with milk and stuff like that. She just prefers the whole milk. But he didn't have whole milk. Now, some people splash a little milk when they're scrambling the eggs and everything before they make omelets or whatever, scrambled eggs, but still. I lit some scented candles she loves, put on our favorite show, and gave her plate of food. Oh, for God's sakes. Yes, I know he's trying to be romantic, but this and all that, but putting that aside, this is not a girl you do this for because she's an asshole. She was so excited for a moment, but then she paused and asked me, did you have to run out and get whole milk? Because I noticed we ran out the other day. And you need a whole milk for eggs. And I told her no, that I just used 2% milk because I couldn't stop halfway through to run out for 30 minutes to get milk. Stopped her right there. Is there a whole milk in there? Really? She just sighed and started tearing up because she couldn't eat anything with the eggs in that. She's not going to eat this well-prepared fucking breakfast because, God forbid, he had a little tiny splash of 2% milk in there. Spoiled brat. Holy crap. But he's willingly chosen to be in a relationship with her. You treat a girl like the queen, and she's going to treat you like a peasant. She said that she tried 2% milk eggs once when she was little and didn't like it. Well, bitch, maybe your taste buds have changed. Eat it. So she felt disappointed now and only ate the hash brown and the meat. I'd be like a parent with a kid. You're not leaving this fucking room until you eat that goddamn egg. I begged her to at least try a bite of the burrito to see if she likes it. Smack! That's your problem. You never beg. You are being ridiculous. Because I really didn't want to start her birthday off on a bad note. But she refused and wouldn't even try the burrito since it had an egg. Dude, this is when you should be maybe like dumping the food on her. And walking out that door and never looking back. There's a reason she acts like this. Okay, well, she's obviously a spoiled brat. And she was an asshole before you. But now she's a major asshole. And you're enabling her behavior. Not that I'd be in that situation, guys, or you guys wouldn't be, but I think all of you would be like, whoosh, dumping that plate of eggs and burritos on her head. It annoyed me that she wouldn't even try, but I stayed calm and didn't want to make things worse. Smack! In other words, you were being appeasing. We moved on from it, and I focused on keeping her happy for the rest of her birthday. And things went well until we were leaving her parents' house when she said something along the lines of the following. I'm glad we got to see you guys, and thank you, Dad, for cooking dinner, because I need at least one guy in my life who knows how to cook good food. Whoa! That is so uncalled for. This guy tried, and that's what she's giving those digs at him? Again, dumping the food on her. And trust me, the tone was not playful, and she was staring straight at me with a serious face when she said it. Well, I'd be staring at her with a serious face saying, "We're over, bitch." It caught me so off guard and immediately frustrated me, so we got in a fight during the drive home and barely spoke the rest of the night. I feel terrible since it was her birthday. Smack! Why are you feeling terrible? She had to feel terrible. But I generally don't feel like I did anything wrong. I made a mistake with the eggs, but she was the one who brought it up to make me look bad and make it a big deal. Am I the a-hole? Smack for asking that. I know some of you guys are like, SSM, why did you cover this guy's story? This guy's a clown. Well, he is behaving like a clown, but I had to show you just how absurd some can get and how, again, treating a girl like the queen. She is a freaking spoiled brat. She is a petulant child. She is 27 going on 7, okay? Guys, don't be like this freaking guy. Dude, you said you were asking if you're the a-hole. You're only the a-hole because you are in a relationship with her knowing what she's like. You're the a-hole for putting up with her, for enabling her behavior. You want to redeem yourself, yay, dump her and move on. And because you know how many women out there would be appreciative of a guy that would actually care enough to make the meal right? And would not care if, God forbid, you put a splash of 2% milk in there instead of whole milk. It ain't going to take that much difference. Frankly, he should have told her. But my God, I've known some picky eaters in my life, and they are a pain in the fucking ass. Food is fuel and doesn't need to excite you, in spite of what all the stupid cooking and chef shows try to make people think. It's fucking fuel, for God's sakes. And occasionally something tastes really good, but it's fuel. My God. If you don't end it with her, this is going to be your life. Now, I got a bunch of comments, all from women, telling him what's what. And this is good. First one, this woman says, not the a-hole. Are you very sure you want to waste your time with someone as ungrateful, immature, and petty as she is? There was a lot to appreciate in what you did for her, and for her over the wrong milk, and she cries. Are you sure she isn't 7 years old mentally? Sounds more of a child stunt. Calling you out at her parents would have been the last straw for me. If Dad is the only one that can cook for her, let her go back home. I know I would not put up with this for any longer. After this, I tell her to learn to cook because you're done cooking for her. That's from a woman. Darn right. Another woman says, not the a-hole, and honestly, she sounds exhausting. Unless there's a legitimate neurodivergent or other reason, adult picky eaters are the worst. It's like living with a damn toddler. Yes, it is. And to at least not try even after you did all that work. That would be the last birthday I'd spend with her. She's nothing but a whiny, immature, spoiled brat. Is this who you really want to spend the rest of your life with? Do you want her passing this bullshit off to her kids you might have? Rethink this relationship. I got to mention something because I just thought of this now. My sister was a very, very picky eater. Not like this, but a pain in the ass. And my dad allowed it. Yeah. Anyhow, as an adult, she was that way for a while until she got with her husband. And by the time they were definitely engaged, he started making her eat. He would cook. He was a good cook. He's a doctor now. He would Navy, and he's a Navy doctor. And he's a good cook. He enjoys it. It's his way to relax. And over time, he got her to eat. So it goes to show you that you can get these types to eat. You just can't put up with their crap. We'll mention that there. Shout out to my sister. She got better. And last one, this is from a woman. She says, OMG, what the hell is wrong with her? Unless you are making some kind of gourmet something or other, the kind of milk you use is irrelevant. Scrambled eggs is the least milk-picky thing you can use. You can literally make scrambled eggs with no milk. Well, I don't put any fucking milk in my scrambled eggs, but a lot of people do put milk in it. She is ridiculous, and I'd be rethinking my relationship with her after the comment at dinner. If you're spending all your time trying to keep her happy, you are in a one-sided relationship with an adult toddler. You did not make a mistake with the eggs. She just got you well trained enough to think that anything she doesn't like is you making a mistake. And I can see how you think that way because I got anxiety just reading this post. I think if you got out of this relationship, you'd find your life would be so much more peaceful. It would be a relief. I want to know what the deal is with this girl. I mean, is she like physically beautiful? Perfect body, tits, ass, hair, that he's putting up with this shit? I'm willing to bet you that's not the case. But a guy that caters to a woman like this is clearly not as people call a high value man, not a ladies' man. Because think about it. If this guy had tons of women that are interested in him, do you think he'd be putting up with this bullshit? No, only guys that don't have a lot of options put up with this shit. So this is one of many reasons I encourage guys to work on themselves and become the best they can be, so at least they can have better quality people in their lives that don't take advantage of them. You know, this guy, if he doesn't dump her after this, he deserves anything that comes his way.